This enablement training is for the Hybrid Workspaces application streaming server, focused on the Learning Tools Interoperability, or LTI, installation and troubleshooting. This course will cover Hybrid Workspaces application streaming server troubleshooting for the LMS or the learning management system that it might be integrated with, and some troubleshooting. Feel free to download any course PDFs to follow along or reference. Be sure to watch the other two-part series focused on installation, configuration, and troubleshooting of the application streaming server system itself. The presenter is a Turbo developer engineer, Oleg Somfein. This presentation is presented to a live audience, so there will be discussion and questions throughout the presentation. Let's begin.
So let's get started. Let's briefly cover LTI. LTI, it stands for Learning Tools Interoperability. And it's basically how Turbo Server integrates with learning management systems such as Blackboard, Canvas, and Moodle. So this is an education technology specification. What it basically does, it is allows you to put the applications from Turbo Server into the learning management system portal so that students will have one place to access their assignments, course information, and applications that are used in the class. To configure an LTI or learning management system, you would go into the administration portal, click on integrations in the upper right, and then select learning management systems. You give a name for the LMS, consumer key. A shared secret will be available, as well as the tool provider URL and the configuration URL. And all of these will be used to configure the LTI in your learning management system. The show in course navigation will make the applications appear in the course navigation by default. If this is disabled, teachers will have to manually enable Turbo in their course. This only affects learning management platforms that use the LTI tool provider URL. So it will not affect anything using the configuration URL. The link text is shown in the course navigation as the menu item for this integration. Again, it only affects learning management platforms using the LTI tool provider URL. The user identity fields allow you to map the learning management system names to Turbo Server users. You should configure this when your organization has modified the learning management system user fields, or they're using a learning management system other than the default set that we support. The workspace is the workspace that will be used for this integration. And you have the option to automatically create channels for the courses. This would allow any course that's coming out of your learning management system to have its own channel. So it reduces the overhead for the Turbo Server admins, since they don't have to configure that manually. Same with the automatically grant permissions. Under the courses, you'll see a listing of the courses that have been created for this LTI. If you have the automatically create channel setting enabled, these will be happening automatically, so you don't have to manually add each course. From speaking with people in the education field, they like to hand off all of the management to their teachers and end users instead of doing it themselves. So anything automatic is a welcome feature to them. So if you don't have a course mapping, you just see the portal for the Turbo Server. If you have a course mapping, when you go to the integration, you will see the applications directly inside the workspace and channel for your class. Each course will have a display name, a course ID, a workspace, and a channel set. For the configuration, typically you go to your learning management system and you go into the settings. For Canvas, that's settings, apps, view app configurations, and then add app. You would use the fields from the Turbo server to configure this application. So for example, for Canvas, you would set it by URL for the configuration type. You would assign a name for this application. You would enter the consumer key from the Turbo server LTI settings page, as well as the shared secret and the configuration URL. After that, the integration will be added as an option in the navigation menu. If it has been set to show in the navigation by default, teachers don't have to do anything. If that's disabled, teachers will have to manually drag the TurboNet option to the list of available menu items. And this is how you identify the course ID for Canvas. Every learning management system will be a little bit different. Assuming you have set everything correctly, students and the instructor should be able to go to their course, click on the Turbo integration item in the navigation menu, and get access to the portal. So if they click on an application, the application launches. Essentially, the process is very similar for Blackboard and Moodle, so I won't be going over that. All right, any questions about LTI, Paul?
We appreciate your time, Oleg. Thank you.
Yes. And just as a reminder, for the next session, we'll be focusing on Turbo server troubleshooting. Yes, it will be recorded. You guys have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.